They weren't miracle workers, barely doctors at all. When the Black Death swept through Europe and bodies filled the streets, one figure walked among the dying, draped in black, face hidden behind a long, curved beak. The Plague Doctor. Their job was simple: keep records, document the plague, count the dead, and often die with them. Why hide behind the beak? It wasn't for theatrics. A leather robe coated in wax, thick gloves, wide-brimmed hat, glass lenses over the eyes, and a beak stuffed with herbs. A medieval hazmat suit and gas mask to fight off miasma didn't always work, but the design wasn't random. It came from one man, Dr. Charles de Lorme. In 1619, de Lorme, physician to kings, designed the plague doctor suit to protect himself while treating victims. He served not one, but three French monarchs: Henri IV, Louis XIII, and the Sun King himself, Louis XIV. He was no back-alley sawbones. He was at the top of his game, and he truly believed this suit could save lives. To be fair, it probably helped a little. The robe kept fleas at bay. The mask, while useless against germs, made people keep their distance. And de Lorme? He lived to the age of 94. In plague years, that's practically immortal. But not every plague doctor was so lucky. Numerous chilling tales continue to inspire dread. In plague-ridden 17th century Venice, the Republic assigned a doctor, young, quiet, and reportedly meticulous, to tend to patients in a quarantined boarding house near the Rialto Bridge. He entered on a foggy morning with his tools, his beaked mask, and a red wax-sealed ledger. Inside were 7 infected residents. None survived. Neither did he. But what baffled the city was this: when guards finally entered days later, his robes and tools were gone. The seal on the door was unbroken. No blood, no body, no sign he ever left. The locals claimed he was taken by the dead. Others said he never existed at all. Marseille, 1720. The plague was back. Most doctors had fled. One remained, a quiet man with trembling hands, and a little companion who rode in his satchel, a rat named Jacques. Jacques sniffed the air in every home they visited. If he twitched or squeaked, the doctor turned back. If he was calm, they went in. He was smarter than any candle or chart. One evening, the doctor stalked a drink from his flask. 2 men attacked. "Where's the gold?" they shouted. Ripping the bag away, they opened it. Inside, they found some tools and Jacques. One of the thieves threw Jacques onto the road. A cart rolled by. The doctor lost a friend. That night, he wrote, "They took nothing of value." But Jacques had not yet finished his service. He continued his rounds, alone now. And when the air turned thick, he simply held his breath. London, 1665. The plague was everywhere. Death moved fast. And so did the men trying to keep up with it. One plague doctor, exhausted and alone, was summoned to a merchant's home in Whitechapel. The man lay collapsed beside his desk, cold, still, barely clinging to life. No pulse, clouded eyes. The doctor held up his candle. No flicker. That was the test. No flicker meant no breath. He signed the death record. Likely plague. Deceased. The body was hauled to the morgue and covered with a sheet. But the man wasn't dead. Just trapped in a coma-like state, breathing too faint to stir a flame. 3 hours later, he woke up, screaming. He burst from the morgue, wrapped in lemons, and ran into the street. Witnesses claimed the ghost had risen in Whitechapel. The plague doctor returned to the file later. He scratched out the cause of death and quietly wrote, "Not dead, not yet." Over time, the stories grew stranger. In French folklore, there's a tale of a cursed plague doctor suit. Every physician who wore it died within days. Eventually, the outfit was locked away in a monastery. But monks claimed they still heard the rustling of robes at night and the soft scrape of a beak along stone walls. Centuries later, in Venice, the costume returned, not as a medical tool, but as fashion. The Medico della Peste became a staple of Carnival. The beak, now painted gold, the robe embroidered in silk. Death had become dress-up. And in the digital age, the plague doctor found new life. Online, one figure reigns above them all. SCP-049. A fictional anomaly from the SCP Foundation. SCP-049 is a creature dressed as a plague doctor. It believes in a mysterious pestilence and thinks its job is to cure humanity. How? By killing them. Its touch is lethal, its voice calm and formal, like a twisted Shakespearean villain. And after death, it operates, reanimating the body into a hollow, mindless shell. It's terrifying. It's absurd. It's also wildly popular, with games, fan art, comics, and cosplays in its honor.
Why the obsession? Maybe because the plague doctor is a perfect symbol, a figure meant to protect that couldn't. A healer dressed like death, a costume built to fight a disease no one understood. And in the age of pandemics and uncertainty, the image is more relevant than ever. In 2020, the beaked mask showed up again, not in hospitals but on TikTok, in Halloween costumes, on Etsy, on tattoos, on memes. Once feared, now reimagined, the plague doctor has gone viral.
But would the outfit work today? No, not really. We know now that plague comes from bacteria, spread by fleas. No mask of herbs could stop it. But the fear, the instinct to shield your face, to armor yourself against the unknown, that never went away. Even in the 21st century, a black coat and a beaked mask still send a chill down the spine. Because deep down, we know the plague doctor didn't save us from the plague, but they walked among the dying when no one else would. And that, in its own way, is its own kind of cure.